Oh, check it out. You're probably thinking, you cheap bugger. Yeah, so don't look at me like that. This will be really embarrassing if I pulled it off by hand. Probably looking at this and thinking, you can't get much simpler than you, mate. Hey guys, welcome back to DMAC Kustoms. Well, plans change. That's your intro. Let's go and have a look. Okay, as you figured by the intro, plans changed. If you watched last week's video, or hopefully it's last week's, I don't know, it should be last week's video anyway. I was making up those sill plates to run that big harness for the AirRide ECU and stuff like that in. Well, still going to keep the sill plates, but I'm going to change the harness. So I've been trying to figure out where I'm going to locate everything in the old trunk boot area, all the AirRide componentry and stuff, and the harness was still too short, if that makes sense. Like, I couldn't get it to come far enough to where I want to put the valve block and stuff, and I would end up, basically this thing here would end up halfway down the door jamb, so it's just too short. So I thought, rather than lengthen it, I'm going to shorten it, and then I'm just going to lengthen the controller cable and the two key cables, so I'll have much less wiring running all the way back up to the front, and it'll give me more options of where I put all my stuff in the back. Okay, so hopefully I'll get it all done in this video, but I'm going to figure out where I'm going to mount everything in the back and work out what to do with all of that stuff. So this is where we're at. Now, I'm back. Bloody thing just turns off whenever it feels like it for some no apparent reason. So anyway, I was compressors going either side, and I was going to have the valve block kind of this tank offset, and it just messed with my head a little bit, and I didn't like it. So got a new plan. I'm going to have the valve block up under here, about there. I'm going to make a plate to mount that on, so I can mount it up there, and then I can run my air lines over the back of the tank and then down through the back of the tank. For the valves, air lines, I'll still have to have the input and exhaust run somewhere as well, and then I just can mount the ECU up the back here somewhere, which I'm thinking I'll mount it up behind one of the compressors up over there somewhere, and then yeah, then I can work out how long all my harnesses need to be. So I'll pull apart that big mega harness that I made already and start again, sort of thing, cutting and re-pinning the plugs and stuff like that. So that's my plan. So might start with mounting all my hardware, so I know where that's all going to go, and then I can figure out where all my wiring needs to go from there. Sound like a plan? Hopefully. Rev nuts and long screws, which are too long. I have to cut those down to mount my ECU and my valve block, and not sure what I'll use to mount the compressors in the tank yet. I've got some bigger hardware for that, I think, or for the tank anyway. So let's get into it. This one might be I might film this over a few days, possibly even over the next week or so, because I've got something on this weekend which is going to limit how much I'm going to be able to get out here and carry on with this little particular part of the project. But it's after work, sun's still shining, I'll make a start on it today. Let's get into it. Aye. Okay, update. This is going to be my mounting plate for my valve block, this thing. It's going to mount up under the parcel tray. So, come on mate, take your time. So what my plan is to put a couple of plug welds up under there, and there's a brace that runs under the parcel tray which runs under here, so I'll put a couple of plugs in there too, so I can so it's secure. And I've made this out of a 2mm plate which I picked up from my buddy Neil at Pure CNC. He's rummaging through his scrap bin. Thanks Neil. And so yeah, that's gonna sit up on there. I'll show you where I'm going to mount it later on, because like I'll show you later, but I have to figure out clearances for all the wiring and stuff before I can mount it, and I'll do some rust proof edge priming and stuff like that. Well, not rust proof, what's that, weld through edge priming on the back of this before I do it, and I'm going to put some rib nuts in there as well, just for good measure, to bolt that onto. And that's what I've got to figure out next, where those holes go. Not quite sure how I'm going to mark the holes though. Okay, so did some accurate measuring and marked my holes for my valve block, and quite proud of myself. I actually got I laid this down over the top, my little hot marks, and lo and behold, they all landed where they're supposed to land. So, drill some holes. Do you want to watch while I drill some holes? Because this is where I'll cock it up. I managed to get all my marks in the right place, and now this is where I get the drill to wander off and get the drill hole in the wrong place. Now, detour. Whatever. Whoosh. My bench isn't exactly flat anyway, so I wouldn't worry about this too much. Ooh, 7, right? I don't know. Oh, check it out. Cool, eh? I retired the old little baby Vice and got me one of these fancy swivelly jobbies, which was a reasonable sort of price actually. So yeah, it's got, you can flip it around, so you got pipe clamps and these other little doodads over that size. The actual jaw is about, it's only slightly bigger than the one I had, but it's got a wider, more yawn, more like it can come out further that way. And
it was really cheap.
Honest it was, so just thought I'd show you. Hopefully it's as good as my little old Vice, because that's been really good. I'm going to keep that though, just in case. Let's back up. Right, need drill bits. Going to chuck some riv nuts or riv certs into this to be able to bolt my manifold onto this little plate. Little plate doesn't have to be too flat, it's going to be tucked way up under the parcel tray anyway. So yeah, just putting some 5mm rib nuts in there. Got these screws, machine screw things that I'll have to cut down. Might buy some flasher ones later, but probably not. Probably forget, and then I'll bolt it all up when I put this thing together, and then just that's pretty much how it'll stay. But for mock-up purposes, that's what I'm going to tell you for now. I wonder if I should... Oh, nah. Be alright. I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to drill a bunch of holes for... Some more holes for the plug welds as well. I wonder if I should do that at the same time. I will. Yes. So, safety apparel. Okay, that's all my holes drilled. Check it out. Wish step bits. You're probably thinking, you cheap bugger, but yes, they were very cheap. I think it was like $19 for a set of 3 of these step bits, and it cost me like another $9 or $4 or something to ship them all the way from China to here. One of these here would probably be about 70 bucks. So even if they only drill a half a dozen holes, I'm probably doing all right, maybe ish. But yeah, so don't look at me like that. Can't help it. It's just how I'm wired up. Oh, before I do that, I'm going to work out where it's going to go. I just remembered. Oh, see, so I need to put the riv certs in first. Okay, well, no, I will do that. Yes, my rubbish bin needs emptying, I know. But the big bin's all over there, and it just gets away, you know. It's just over there, and I'm busy, man. I'm just busy. Hey guys, welcome back. Next day. Next day. So, where was I? Oh, that's right. Made up this little doohickey for holding up my valve block, which I'm in the process of mounting up under the dash. Now I spent a fair bit of time just pondering where I'm gonna put all this stuff and how I'm gonna put it in there and all that kind of thing, and yeah, and I think I've come up with most of what I want to do. I think maybe probably The rest I'm just going to make up as I go along, because if you followed this channel for a while, you probably have figured out that that's kind of how I roll, just make it up as I go along. But yeah, so anyway, I'm going to put some riv nuttage into this, then I'm going to work out exactly where it's going to go up under the parcel tray, and then I might even zap it in there and get that kind of mounted up, and then I can then figure out the rest of my wiring, how long will pull all my harness apart and stuff. Yeah, we'll go over that when I get that far. Okay. Okie dokie. Right, I've marked roughly where I needed to grind back some steel and spray a bit of that weld through primer up on there for my plug welds on this. So while I wait for that to dry, I'll go and get the MIG all set up, and then I can get in here and do some sort of upside down plug welds. It's really awkward doing this, but I might have to do some upside down laying in the trunk of the old 51, but we'll get it, and I'll probably get it slightly crooked, which is kind of how it'll go most likely. Hopefully not. Hopefully I'll get it all in the right place. Yeah. That's better. Okay, update. As you saw, hopefully this will video correctly and stuff. That's my mounting plate for my valve block. It's plug welded up there. Hopefully that's strong enough. It should be. Notice that I didn't complete one of the plug welds properly, but it should be alright. 6 should be heaps. Worst comes to worst, I'll just chuck a couple of screws through it, but I didn't really want to screw it to the parcel tray because I don't know what's happening with the upholstery on the inside, so I didn't want screws and bolt heads and stuff sticking through that side at this point. So yeah, that's why I made the executive decision to weld that plate up there. But it should be well strong enough if I can't. This will be really embarrassing if I pulled it off by hand. Yeah, we should be good. Next up, kind of work out where I'm going to mount my compressors and my tank. And do I just mark those, or should I pull it all apart and actually put all the fasteners and that in? Probably should pull it all apart and put it in place, you know, so it's done. And then I can just pull it all apart and it's done. All the stuff's done. The only thing I haven't really got is on these compressors, they come with these little rubber like grommet feet to kind of elevate them off whatever they're bolted to. I'm assuming it helps with compressor noise, drumming and vibrating and stuff like that. I don't know, is that a real necessary thing? Can you have them bolted hard to a surface, or is it better to have them rubber mounted in some fashion just to eliminate some of that noise? Maybe if you know, or you got any first world experience with mounting compressors and stuff and the noise that they make, can you let us know down in the comments? That would be awesome. My last airbag car, I didn't do half of it. I did some of it, but not all of it. I didn't even pay attention to how the compressors were mounted. There was a 91, 93 Silverado that was all C-notched and stuff, and the compressors were already in it when I got it. So I never had any reason to really look at them that closely. So yeah, if you've got any suggestions on that, the little rubber feet thing that I've got for my compressors are pretty well toast, because there was only 2 screws holding each compressor in the car that it was in. So yeah, first world experience, let us know down in the comments. That would be awesome. Thank you. Right, start figuring out where the stuff's going to go. My battery's about to go flat. Okay, 980, not 890 like I did last time. 980. That's 485. That's 450. That should be my centre. Oh, look at that. Splattered a weld right onto that cap screw. What an amateur. 490. All the weld splattered down into there. Now welded that screw to this thing. It's going to be fun. Sweet, didn't stick. Right, so that's my centre for there. Now, for my compressors, I've got to mount them a little bit towards the front because I don't want them vibrating on the ECU in any way whatsoever. So if I bring them to about there, and that way they sit just in front of those swages with the fasteners, and have them, I don't know, maybe just about 5mm out from there, maybe, yeah. Shouldn't really talk with a pen in my mouth, but about there. I'll mark that one, and then I'll wonder if I should take it out and square it all up proper, like take this panel out. Yeah, I'll do that once I get that far. I'm going to mark do the tank. Now, I reckon I'll bring the mount fasteners to the front of this swage here, because that'll leave me enough room to hopefully have my air lines scoot over the back. If I push it too far back, well, it might be alright actually. If I put it to there, it's not gonna, is it hitting that? Oh, it might be. Where's that on the back foot? It's over there. Unless I flatten down one little bit of swage on there once I've centered this up. Might be the way to go, I reckon. Alrighty, so does that look centered? Looks pretty centered. Centered enough for my liking. Alright, I guess the next thing to do, take that out and drill all the holes for that stuff, and then I can kind of mock it all up, mount it all up, work it all out. Then I can mess with my harness again. Or do I even really need to do that? Because I could, well, decisions, I can suss all my harness out before I drill all those holes and stuff, or I could just put a couple of little PK screws or something in just to hold them in place, and then when I take it all out after this little exercise, I can drill all my holes and put all my fasteners and stuff in. I don't know, man, just indecision. It'd be good to kind of get it kind of all in there, then it's done. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do the holes. Right. As you can see, got this panel out. Just gonna square all this up, mark all my holes proper like, and actually I'll probably suss out the fasteners first, see what I've got. Should have stuff that'll work with this. And yeah, mark all my holes, drill my holes, and then put it all back in. I'll just put a couple of fasteners in to hold stuff in place. You know, nothing too carried away just yet. So get on to that. Okay, so you probably saw me farting around with this one particular rib nut. That was purely because I went one size too far on the step bit, up to 12 millimeters, whereas I needed 11 millimeters. So I thought I'll just try one and see whether it's going to be too sloppy in there. So it actually does seem to work. Whether it's got as much bite as a tighter tolerance hole, I don't know, but so I'll do the rest at 11. So there, just in case you're wondering. It's really hot again today. Like we're in autumn technically now, which means it's cold in the morning, or chilly. Still wearing shorts and jandals and stuff, but gets kind of still quite warm in the PM side of the day, which is kind of when I find myself out here doing this sort of stuff. You probably, if I put it in the edit, I tried hammering back these two bits of these swages because the rib certs wanted to land right in the middle of them for the tank, but all I succeeded in doing really is kind of making the thing go pop, 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 pop and stuff, because now I've got a bit of stretched steel that's got nowhere to go. I could have tried shrinking it, but it's not going to matter too much once all this gets pulled up, tighten that again and where it's going. If it becomes a problem, then I'll readdress it, but I think it'll be alright, hopefully. Really optimistic, really. Anyway, that's all my riv inserts, riv nuts, whatever you want to call them, for the tank and the two compressors, or the tank singular. That one's a bit wonky now because I hammered back that bit. Might be alright. Might just need a little bit of a assistance to make the right choices in its life. Like that. See that? That's how you fix a crooked insert nut thing. Right. Okay, let's go put this back in. I'll update you once I get that far. Maybe we'll go on to the next bit. I don't know. Alrighty, now that ute's driven off down the road, that's all the main components all kind of bolted up in place where they're going to be, except for the second compressor. You're just going to have to use your imagination and imagine one of those sitting over there. It's pretty straightforward really. So yeah, now just got to figure out where all the wires are going to go. I'm not going to drill any holes, like I said before on the other video, last video. I'm not going to drill any holes into this for the airlines yet until I actually have the airline material in my whole little hand. But yeah, my little puckery bits, they're okay. Like, you may not even see any of this anyway, or I might put some carpet over it or something, I don't know. But basically, yeah, now just got to figure out all the electrical stuff, all this. One more thing, Pumpkin asked about the door rubbers, whether these cable tray things will clear the, oh, that was my knees, will clear the, have any problems with the door rubbers, and I didn't think it did, but it got me thinking. I thought, yes, you're right, I probably should check that out. Now, I'm pretty sure these are the door rubbers. I've got a rubber kit with the car, and I'm pretty sure these are them. Because I think there's, oh, unless that's boot rubbers. Don't know. But, yeah, pretty sure they are. Now, from what I can gather, the door rubber fits in up in here like that, like it's got to be glued in, and it looks like there might be some kind of press down tabby thing that holds it in there across the bottom. I don't know, but anyway, so and come round the corner and they're attached like that, so they are in this area here, and they kind of end up mating up with this area here, I think. If anyone's got one of these and they know for certain, can you let me know in the comments down below? That would be really handy. Yeah, so I think there's no traces of any glue or anything like this. Door had no door rubber on it anyway, but I found some pictures on the interweb earlier today when I was doing a little bit of digging and that, trying to find out for certain. But I think the rubber actually is glued in all the way up through here and up around the top, and then it comes down. You probably can't see that, too dark. But yeah, so it meets up with this face of the door jamb through there, and that edge there across the sill. So my little plate things should be well and truly away from the rubber. So I think that's it anyway. Well guys, gonna leave it at that for this video on mounting up the compressors, 2 of, and the tank, 1 of, and the valve block and stuff on the old Area 51 project. I was going to add some stuff in to do with all the wiring and that, but I'll save that for the next video because this one was starting to get a bit long, and I know that's a bit of a struggle for some of you folk. Not all ears, but some ears. But anyway, thanks for watching and really appreciate it. And the new subscribers have come on board. If you're watching this, thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. It's not that hard. It's just a little button. Yeah, till next time, take it easy. Peace.